4 separate investigations into the Internal Revenue Service targeting of conservative groups. And our next guest says the scandal is not going to disappear anytime soon. Joining us is former Democratic Congressman, Fox News contributor, Dennis Kucinich. Dennis, great to have you here.
Thanks, Lou. Good to be with you.
This IRS targeting of conservative groups, there are now 4 committees that have just set out to investigate. Your thoughts?
Well, the fact that every American has some intersection in their lives with the IRS every year. This shows you that people understand the power of the IRS. And when there's an intimation or some acknowledgement that power has been misused, the American people can understand that. And that is really a mark against the government, because people don't want this kind of intrusive power used against them for political purposes. That's why this is not going to go away soon.
Yeah, in its raw abuse of power, and the investigations now are reaching out to Chicago, started in Cincinnati, reaching across the country. And it goes beyond simply the targeting, as if that isn't bad enough, because it certainly is, the targeting of conservative groups for political purposes, but then sharing that information with left-wing news outlets. I mean, that's pretty strong and dangerous stuff, compounding it all.
Well, you know, it's very interesting. I've heard those stories because, on one hand, the media is being told that that in some cases it may compromise national security by pursuing some story with a source. And on the other hand, we have the media, the potential of the media being used in order to further a political attack. This is not appropriate, and we have to have a government get its house in order here.
To be clear, the hypocrisy and the contradiction, and then the actual contradiction of the intellectual architecture there is all that of the Obama administration. It isn't external to the administration. They created it all themselves, didn't they?
Well,
they have chosen to pursue leaks. They have chosen.
Right. Listen, I have been right at the forefront in challenging the violation of the First Amendment that I've seen, by going and surveilling the media, the violation of the rights of, in this case, conservative groups, whose politics were the basis for an IRS inquiry. We, as Americans, have to close ranks here, because when it comes to making sure that the power of government will not be misused, this shouldn't be a Democrat or Republican issue, a left-right issue. We all must agree on it.
And I think, Dennis, that you and I tonight have pointed out that at least an independent and a Democrat can agree on it. All right, maybe an independent conservative. You want to attach anything to Democrat?
Well, listen, I feel that my first loyalty is to my country.
Amen, brother.
We cannot be so loyal to a party that it blinds us to see what's going on, or we begin to perceive things selectively when, let's say, some of my Republican brothers and sisters couldn't see some of the problems in the Bush administration, but they can see the problems in the Obama administration. Yeah. This kind of politics that's polarized is dividing our country further, and we need to have a coherent view of exactly what's happening. And I think the way you do that is to see it clearly without regard to partisan affiliation.
Yeah, and that curious blessing that sometimes comes up like a burden. I could see a few problems with that Bush administration as well as this one. Dennis, thanks so much. Dennis Kucinich, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take a moment.